Groggs was asking some questions about the map symbols. Um, these square areas with the houses in them, those are towns. These hexagons, black hexagons with the city in it, are, of course, cities. Um, the red star just means it's a victory location. You have to get 4 of the 6, I believe it was. These diamond shape with the airplane symbol in them, those are air bases that you have a more successful chance of airdropping in an air base, and plus air bases you can use them to transport people into from off your off-board holding areas. Let's see, where are we at? What else do you know? The circles are just open areas. These 2 boxes here are just passes. There's a couple of cards that have effect if you have an Israeli unit in one of these 2 passes. Um, and these red pentagons are Arab forts. It gives the Egyptians an advantage in combat in those locations. Let me go over might as well go over the counters here real quick. Um, the first number, the number on the left, is the combat factor, and the number on the right is the movement. So this unit is that's airborne, and the arrow at the bottom denotes that it's an elite unit. Here we have some mechanized infantry, attack factor of 6, movement allowance of 3, and those are the Israeli units. Then you have the air units. That's just the number of dice they roll when making airstrikes. I think you hit on a 5 or a 6. Let me see here. Yeah, 5 will retreat a unit, and a 6 will eliminate a unit that's in that hex. And then if they get hit, you flip them over, and they're reduced. Crap. So that's the symbols. I hope that answered some of your questions, Grog. There's a let me see if I can find it here. There's a terrain effects chart here. I made a copy of it. It's on the back of the rules. But as you know, certain terrain has certain. Basically, most of the time, whoever terrain affects who has the tactical superiority tiebreaker. If you guys roll for tactical superiority, which is just another way to say initiative, if you tie, the terrain is the tiebreaker. It tells you who wins in case of a tie for initiative. And then there's some effects on combat. It's mostly for the Egyptians in fortifications and towns. And that's basically all it is. And then, of course, the airfields you can use to air transfer or air land units. Ports, you can certain cities here on the oceans are ports. They can you can make amphibious assaults there. All the cities want to, and that's what that is. Oh, and then these black lines are like your normal routes of movement. These blue lines are water moves, and I don't really mess around in this part of the map too much in this game. But there's something special about water moves. Or I think it's just it takes all your movement allowance. Yeah, that's what it is. I mean, you can move from here to here, but it takes all your movement allowance, which I don't know. But I've never been involved with much down in here anyway. Most of my actions going on over here. And but anyway, I hope that helps you out, Grogs. I'm going to be starting the first turn, well, the first card draw soon. Well, while I'm here, a little bit about that. There's usually one of these 2 cards I draw first. This one here is probably the historical first draw, Operation Kaddish. All the Allied units start off map. they don't start on the map at all. You have to do an operation to bring them on board. Operation Kaddish, which costs 2 turns, so my turn will go down from 9 to 7. That'll just let me activate the Israeli units and bring them on the map. Each turn you pick a card, do what the card says, and then you can move and attack with any units on the map. And then the other card that I like to play, get out of the way, is this Anglo-French air offensive. It only costs 1 turn, and what it does is it activates the British and the French air units. And those are nice to have right away. And but you don't want to wait too long to play this. See, I played one game where I didn't play this card right away, and it got to the point where I was running out of turns and really couldn't afford to play this card, and it ended up screwing me over. So, so normally I do play this card first, and I usually play this card second. So I think what we're going to do with the Allies for the first activation is we're going to play Operation Kaddish. I get to transfer all the Israeli units to any space in Israel, and the Israeli air unit goes in the available box, and all my ground units add 1 to their printed movement and combat strength this turn. So I'll put that right up here to remind me, and then we'll place all these Israeli units, which there's not many, there's only 4, well 5 counting their air unit. And I'll place those. Let's see, I guess he'll go in the air available box. And I'll place those Israeli units where I want them, and we'll go from there.